Currently, we have 8 EMS units that are paramedic level throughout the county. Those are our transport ambulances. They serve all of Pender County from district to district. Right now, we employ a paramedic and an advanced EMT on every single ambulance. The problem is, in the nationwide shortage of paramedics right now, the colleges, the community colleges, the programs are not putting out enough. So we're behind the times. Whenever somebody decides to exit the career, leave, go on to something else, we don't have the people or the bodies to replace them. So the whole state of North Carolina is trying to figure a way, how do we get ahead of this? And every agency is scrambling to try to find a way. We took the route of looking at the model of doctors versus PAs versus nurses. If you went and saw a doctor 20 years ago, you saw a doctor. If you go see a doctor today, you see a physician's assistant or nurse practitioner. Should EMS be thinking the same way? And we figured, yes, when you need an ambulance, you need an ambulance. When you need a paramedic, you need a paramedic. Should a paramedic be going to every single call, such as just a lift assist or a stub toe, or should they be truly reserved for when you need that paramedic for that paramedic level care? We feel yes to that answer. So we adjusted our model for the future to do quick response trucks. And with these quick response trucks, paramedics will be reserved for those high acuity calls, those Delta and Echo level calls when you need that paramedic. An ambulance is coming to you 24/7, no matter when you call 911. Within 3 to 5 minutes, you should have them at your doorstep. But those paramedics will truly be answering those calls that they need to be answering when you need them the most.
QRV is a quick response vehicle. It has a paramedic on it with all the paramedic equipment, and they'll be moving around in their location where they're covering, and they'll respond to the calls that go out. It'll be set up in the system that they'll dispatch them at the same time.
It's going to have the most state-of-the-art technology we can put in it with our equipment, same thing you find in our ambulances today, but it'll be one paramedic in that vehicle with the same equipment that they would have in an ambulance, so there'll be no delay in care whatsoever.
These QRVs, quick response vehicles that we're getting, I'm very excited about them. I think we're going to really be able to utilize it to better serve our county, get to calls quicker where paramedics are needed, versus now where a lot of times we get called up on a call for 2 to 3 hours for something that maybe be an EMT basic level call, and we'll be able to really use our skills and all of our paramedics more to better their abilities and help our citizens too.
Pender County is a very large county geographically, and we don't always have a lot of resources very close at hand when someone has an emergency. So any kind of extra resources that we can have that allow our first responders to get to citizens in need is always a great benefit. Pender County is excited to try new things, to be on the leading edge of various programs and processes, and we are really proud of our EMS staff, our paramedics and EMTs, and we're excited to get them anything that can help them do their jobs better.
COVID really hit everyone hard. COVID really knocked the winds out of our sails. It really put us in a bad way. A lot of paramedics, a lot of EMS providers, a lot of emergency service personnel in general burned out. They left the field. There were some decisions that were made to allow paramedics to operate in alternate practices. So now paramedics can operate in emergency rooms, doctor's offices, dental offices. So when you allow that, the paramedics leave the ambulances where they're desperately needed. So with that lack of staffing, we had to come up with an idea, and so did the rest of the state of North Carolina and the United States, of what do we do next? So that's when we came up with this plan to, hey, let's model this, let's see how this works for the state, and let's be the first agency to put QRVs in true action for paramedics. And that's what we're doing. We're gonna be the model right now for the state of North Carolina.
So we'll have 6 QRVs, so that'll be staffed with 1 medic. There'll also be 6 ambulances that are staffed with their A and the Bs on there. And those will be spread around geographically, mostly by just road mileage. Some of it is by how many calls we get in a certain district, but they'll be spread as best we can by being able to keep that response time as low as we can.
We send a paramedic to everything currently. Well, this new program, we're going to be sending a AMT or an EMT to the call based on what the call is. And you're only going to see that paramedic if you need that paramedic. And that allows that paramedic to be free. So there's 3 levels in the state of North Carolina. You have your EMT, your advanced EMT, and then your paramedic level. So advanced EMT is the 2nd level. It's kind of a mid-level provider, and you step up from EMT, and it has the addition of IVs, IV therapy. So they really practice a lot on starting IVs. Medications increase a little bit, so there's a few different medications they can give. So they really learn the ins and outs of the medication, side effects, what the medications are not only going to do for the patients, but what they need to be on the lookout for to just make them better clinicians.
they're going to be able to run their own ambulance, where before we ran them as a paramedic ran an ambulance. Now our advanced are going to be running that. So we had to give them some different skill levels of incident command, running the scene itself, contacting the state for different med controls and things like that.
We're pretty unique in the state. Most EMS services are county government and run as a division of the county government, but we're different in that we are our own entity, our own nonprofit entity. And so we organized about 20 years ago for EMS services. We realized that the paramedic shortage was real and that we were going to have to kind of change horses and do things a little differently. And that's really the challenge here, is not just paying for the equipment to do it, but also the personnel.
We're one of the only agencies out there that will bring you in with no background whatsoever, no training at all. We'll pay you to come in. We'll give you your BLS training and then your ALS training. We're a very progressive EMS and fire department. We're also another department that combines fire and EMS. We allow you to work both sides, even along with our special operations. So our department's very dynamic, and we have so many more opportunities than a lot of other agencies can offer you.
And one of the big struggles in EMS education is working a job while you're going to class, while you're getting that next certification. So we kind of took that out of the equation and developed a program where we will pay you Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, to come in here and train. So your only job is to learn the next level. So we come in and we take you from EMT level all the way to advanced EMT. It's a hybrid class. It's about 10 and a half weeks long. And we do a lot of molding you into our agency. So we spend time doing orientation and putting orientation into that as well. So when you finish the class, not only do you take your AMT state test and get your AMT certification, but you're also oriented to the department and you're ready to go to work.
There is a lot more hands-on experience than any other class that I've really researched in on. So that was one of my main reasons for coming here, really getting hands-on experience firsthand, and basically the most geared up that we can get for going on the road and the ambulances, helping everybody that we can get.
So yeah, if you're interested in having a career where everything's different, something new around every corner, come give us a shout. We're really focused on making providers. So not just giving you a certification, but making you a provider and a part of our family.
I like to thank everybody that's been a part of our organization and everybody that's helped our organization. We've had a lot of backing from our county commissioners, our local government, our mutual aid agencies, our agencies within the county. This has been a group effort. This has not been something that we put on by ourselves. There's been a lot of input, a lot of decision making. None of this shooting from the hip mentality. We really want to make sure we're doing the best we can for the Pender County citizens, and we want to make sure that paramedic coverage remains no matter what happens in this county for the next foreseeable future.
The Civic grant came along right at the right time when we were starting to talk about this QRV program, so that's worked out really well.
The amount of money they're giving doesn't even compare how much they're going to be helping people in the community and helping our agency to respond to these calls and just to give that better service of what we're going for.
I'd like to say a heartfelt message to Civic, and thank you for everything you've done for us through this process. It was quick, it was easy, the people were very knowledgeable, very easy to communicate with, and without your assistance, this first quick response truck couldn't have happened.